All right, everyone. Welcome to another Mountain Man Monday. This is episode 20 of our live stream for March 16th, 2020. Glad to have everybody here tonight watching live and those of you who are watching this later. Always appreciate everyone that supports this channel. Streams on my videos and everywhere in the Mr. Mountain Man community. So we will wait a few minutes and see what kind of fun conversation that we will be getting into tonight. Hey, Marvin Carlton, how are you doing tonight? Hope you're doing well. And as best I can say, I hope you're having a great start to your week and getting this Monday going here. Obviously, with the current events that are going on in the world today, staying positive is a little more challenging than normal, but I hope that you are having a great start to your week and what's happening in your neck of the woods. Doing pretty good. Excellent. So am I. I really can't complain. Actually, things are going pretty well. Yeah. Oh, we got Triple M Mom. Hello. Good to have you here on this Monday. And it was a couple of weeks ago that you were here live and in person, standing right there behind me. So we got a few folks rolling in. Hello, Jennifer Rathbone. Welcome to the channel. I should get on it here and make sure that I'm saying hello to everybody through it. And warming back up always takes me a couple of minutes. So we've got Marvin Carlton, we've got Triple M Mom, and we've got Jennifer Rathbone. And Jennifer and Triple M Mom, I hope you're having a great start to your week as well, as best we can, because like Marvin says, it's been crazy. And I'm sure we'll be talking about a little bit about current events tonight, but also we'll shift some focus to some of the other things going on. I know it's a tall order tonight because there are some competing live streams that happening now, because in the world that is where people can't go out and do too much, live streams are the thing to do from our house or home or whatever. It's a lot easier. And so, this is, I saw on my phone, I was getting notifications that there were several happening right at this moment. So hopefully we'll get a few folks and have a great conversation. Triple M Mom says, I had to go home because there was no chair for me. That's right. We, in this room right here, there's not much room behind this desk. So unfortunately, Triple M Mom had to stand last live stream. That was 2 weeks ago. And I did not do one last week. And so sorry about that. Make sure to get you a chair next time that you're here. And how is everybody else doing? I assume everybody is, for the most part, being a homebody these days. Not much exploring in the way of the mountains and such. There's a question here. Are your restaurants closed? I actually do not know. Haven't been going out too much to restaurants recently, just because of being on the cautionary side, which is unfortunate because I know just from the news and such that they're taking a extremely hard hit, all of them, from Darden restaurants, which is like Olive Garden and all those fast food restaurants. In fact, I heard the news tonight that McDonald's, I think corporate-owned locations, I can't remember, or franchises or whatever, were going to be closing their seating area and just leaving the drive-through open. And a lot of grocery stores and such are limiting hours, and there's a lot of businesses are closing. So definitely new things that are going on, and it's making it interesting. As far as exploring and getting kind of out and about and doing things, it's compounded by the fact that it's still wintertime. And so because it's winter, there's, it's still hampered by, it's too cold to do a whole bunch outside fun, but it's not cold enough where it's snowing, and people that are interested in like skiing and snow tubing and things like that can be doing that. We're hovering around 40s and 50s. And so it's been a little bit it's been a little bit, in that kind of medium where the weather is not good enough to be outside really doing anything, yard work or hiking or outdoor activities or just going on a walk. And so we'll be coming to the end of that soon, because now that it's March, depending on what part of the country you live in, I know here in Western North Carolina, it's going to be warming up a bit soon. Marvin says, starting tomorrow in Illinois, you can only get carry out or drive through at restaurants, no going in to sit down. And that's right, Marvin. That seems to be par for the course, in that you can, get something. And that this past weekend, I went to get pizza at Papa John's, and it's kind of crazy because at that location, they actually have a drive-through. I had always parked the car and gone up and I order on the app, on my phone, and then I go inside and pick it up. But I was in there one time. They have one of those old gas station type hoses that goes across where the window, the drive-through window is, and then when you go over it, it's like ding ding, just like the old style gas stations to let you know somebody was at like a full service pump or whatever. So the Papa John's has that. So anyway, they have a window. It's kind of cool so that they know somebody's there. But yeah, a takeout is kind of the thing to do. And I'm kind of a big fan of buffets because the family, everybody gets what they want and it's reasonable priced. But considering the current events, that's a tough decision to go to a place like that, like a Golden Corral or Ryan's or your local, hometown buffet or whatever, CC's Pizza. So yeah, it's really tough, in that respect. Joe says Chick-fil-A has closed their dining room here in Danville, Virginia. Yeah, so that sounds like right, Joe, that a lot of places are starting to do that, and that you're just going to be able to get takeout. I mean, at least the places aren't fully closed, so that if we, you don't want to cook that night or do something, because it's nice to go out to eat once in a while. It's a nice treat to be able to do that. Unfortunately, I think sitting down in large crowds, it's going to be a few months before that has gone. Gas prices have plummeted and you really can't go anywhere. So yeah, as far as gas, Joe, it's not a direct correlation exactly, but the price of a barrel of oil, I think at close of market today was like $28 a barrel. Now, for those of you that don't follow that, no big deal. But in contrast, just a few months ago, just like a month ago, it was like almost double. It was like double, like 50, 52, 53. Anyway, when that goes down, gas prices should be getting cheaper. How cheap are you guys seeing in the Western North Carolina area? Because we are a little more touristy. They tend to have higher prices. So like when I drive, if I'm on a road trip and go down to South Carolina or a different county, sometimes it's 20 or 30 cents a gallon cheaper. Since we're looking at like $2.20 a gallon here, I'm wondering what you guys are seeing. My guess is there's places that are really cheap, maybe $1.60, 70, 80. And with this price, if they stay down, who knows? We might see like $1.50 or something like that. So I don't know what kind of gas prices you guys have had, but again, we're about $2.20 in the mountains. Let me know what you're seeing in your area. Very small. I'm going to jump. I just saw a comment here to continue on Joe's conversation. $1.59 a gallon here at Sam's Club. Yeah. So that, and I think Joe said Virginia, Danville, Virginia. So, the mountains tends to be more expensive because we're touristy. So that's wow, that's pretty cheap. Unfortunately, it's a small silver lining for the larger picture going on, but at least, and actually it doesn't totally have everything to do with the virus and what's going on, the OPEC breakdown that happened last month. Anyway, I don't want to bore you with that stuff. But yeah, gas is getting cheaper. Joe makes a good point. I want to jump down here. We got Tim Wheaton saying hello, Mr. Mountain, and hello to you, Tim Wheaton. Glad to have you here. I think I was able to say hello to you on one of the other live streams recently. So thanks for stopping by tonight, and I hope you're doing well as things can go right now. Jumping around a little bit here on topic. In a town of 20 miles from where I live, gas is $1.89, but this is Illinois and we're taxed on everything. Yep. Marvin makes a good point because when I used to live in Florida, we had in the county I lived in, there was like a 10 or 20 cent tax on the gas for schools. So if you went to the next county over, it was quite a bit cheaper. And Tim's saying $1.76 in Chattanooga. That's 40, 50 cents cheaper than here in the mountains. Although I haven't been out today or yesterday, so we'll have to see how it drops. Honestly, at this price, again, about the barrel of oil, $28, if that's stuck or, yeah, $1.50, sub $1.50, I don't think 99 cents or anything crazy like that, unless you have one of those like grocery store rebate type things. That would be it. And Marvin's a little closer to our price here. He's saying at home it's $2.15. And that was another thing. Joe mentioned Sam's Club. Sam's Club is, if you're a member, that you typically getting, 10, 15 cents better than the next door over. One thing I always found fascinating about gas stations and saving money on gas, because I'm a big one for I'm not like one of those people on TV that's super impressive with coupons and stuff, but I do use coupons a lot. Like, for example, I went out this weekend and I needed some stuff for the car. I'm working on the car, like some repair stuff. And I needed some brake cleaner and, some filters and some power steering fluid and some other stuff because I'm replacing some stuff. And I get online and I buy that stuff before I go into the store, and I'll use a 25% off coupon. One I had 10 off 50, so I needed several things, and then I spent $53 and got 10 off. Anyway, the point about me talking about coupons is it was crazy when I've seen people go across town back in the day to save like 3 cents a gallon. Now, this is excluding filling up a boat or an RV or something where that might add up. But if you do the math and you save 3 or 5 cents, if you go to great lengths, it might yield 80 cents, $1.50 or some kind of, savings like that. But yet you don't see people often use coupons when they're at Walmart or whatever, or handing out coupons or cutting coupons when you can get some amazing deals using coupons. So I always found it funny that people look real closely at gas to save money and save a few cents, but there's a whole bunch of ways to save as a consumer in general, that you can save on just about everything. You go out to eat, there's a coupon. You buy something, there's a coupon. Just about everywhere, there's a way to save some money. Let's see here. Where were we? Triple Mount Mom says grocery here is nuts. What about everyone else? Yeah, so we needed groceries anyway, and like most people shop every week. It was when I went to Sam's Club 5 days ago or something like that, the trend of toilet paper, disinfectant wipes, and paper towels was in full force. You couldn't get anything. Chicken was a little hard to get. And what else was out of stock? That was milk. Milk was pretty low. Eggs, I think, was kind of low too. The thing about it is that this was a Sam's Club, and a lot of what I had seen, and I may have changed in the last 5 days. A lot's happened in the last 5 days, but Sam's and Walmart seemed to be consistently out, and I had seen on TV Costco and Lines. But when I went to Ingles, and if you're not familiar with Ingles, that's a North Carolina grocery store. It could be your Publix or Food City or Food Lion or Harris Teeter or whatever. But we went across the street and went to a regular grocery store, and they had everything. They had meat, they had paper towels, they had toilet paper. The joke about it is that most people are stocking up kind of on the wrong thing, according to like pandemic experts and people who plan for these, zombie type events. I guess I didn't get the message that COVID-19 was a GI issue with intestinal and caused problems that we needed so much toilet paper. I saw one meme that said, if you need 196 rolls of toilet paper, you should have probably seen a doctor already for another problem. So that's kind of a joke on it. I think people didn't know what else to do. It kind of, this is the thing about social media these days, is that it's easy to start trends, and I don't want to say gossip, but trends that are not necessarily logical. And, I think the toilet paper thing did start on the internet, because you get all you need is a couple of pictures or reports on Twitter or Facebook of lines and no toilet paper. And everybody goes, I don't know what it is, but that must mean I need toilet paper. So everybody goes out and does it. It's kind of a weird world. It's a double-edged sword. We're highly informed, but some of these things could cause a domino effect that aren't logical at the same time. Not that the preparation and being conservative about the virus is not a good idea, because I do think it is. It's just the tact in which the execution of preparing for this is, some of the aspects are in question and how we're dealing with it, as far as buying a whole bunch, buy 5,000 rolls of toilet paper. Let's see, what do we got here? We've got Marvin's got a report that there's no toilet paper, meat is scarce, and milk is scarce. So Marvin, the good news is, and I can't speak about your exact grocery. I was watching a news report tonight in the business world, not like social media or type stuff, that said there's really just got the distribution caught a little bit caught off guard, but the United States has plenty of food and plenty of stock. It's just a matter of getting it back in. There was a lot of unnecessary hoarding. A lot of people said, scale back a little bit. And so they said that, there's plenty of food and there's plenty of, paper products and stuff in the pipeline. So hopefully, if anybody truly was like out of groceries and waited and didn't have anything, they'll be able to get something soon. Yes, that is. Oh, wait, hold on. Tim Wheaton, the big grocery stores wiped out. I prefer the mom and pop stores personally. Yeah, Tim, that's a great point from a couple of angles. One, you're right. They don't get the notoriety of what the big name stores do that everybody's going to, and they think they're saving money. So yes, the local stores, the mom, pa, your convenience store, your local stores. Okay, maybe you're paying 50 cents more a product or whatever, but if you need something, you're getting it. So I think that's a great recommendation. Amazon has no toilet paper. That is true. Because it's the easiest way to do stuff in order, including like Sam's Club online and Walmart online. I will say a story. I did order a few products online so I've lived through, let me go on a little tangent here. I've lived through hurricanes because I used to live in Florida, and we had Cat 5s coming towards us according to trajectory. So there was a lot of preparation. You wouldn't necessarily call it panic because most people in Florida are weathered for it, but there's a lot of preparation. Quarter-mile lines out of gas stations, and things do run out, generators and gas cans and some of the essentials at the grocery and things, because you're thinking about power being out and what that's going to mean for your family. I'm just going to jump down real quick. The reviewers in here. Hey, reviewer, I'm glad that you made it this week. We're just in the middle of a conversation, so glad you're here, and we are doing well. Yes, we are. Going back to that conversation about the toilet paper and some of the prep, that there were lines and such, and some of it. So the getting a hold of some of this stuff is hasn't been that easy, and some of it's kind of the wrong stuff anyway. And so it's just about making sense of what's really needed. Like one of the other things was like stocking up on bottled water. I mean, this is not like for a hurricane. Yeah. If the water gets knocked out, if it gets messed up and it's not, you have like a boil alert, because a pipe breaks or something, bottled water. But I don't see any reason for this, that bottled water needs to be, stocked up on. And so, and then to kind of segue into Joe Burkett, people are going bananas here too. They just need to calm down. Yeah. So, and again, I know I'm competing with some live streams. They have a smaller audience tonight. On this whole deal, my opinion on it has been to defer to people smarter than me. I have my own trade, and there are things that I am very knowledgeable in, but I am not a pathologist. I am not a doctor. I think that social media, as I mentioned before, is a bit of a double-edged sword in that, trends get started in messaging, and a lot of things aren't true. We used to say when the internet started, like, be careful, if it's on the internet, it doesn't mean it's true. And I think most people knew that, but now we're getting into an area where somebody can get to put together a pretty convincing Facebook post or Twitter tweet or, something and make it look legitimate. One of the goofiest things that I saw was, a list of the disease and how much they killed on a whiteboard. And it talked about it being political, and every political year there was one of these outbreaks. And then at the top, they had basically overlaid, this was posted at a doctor's office. And that's BS. No doctor in their right willing to bet is going to post something like that. And I also don't believe, in my personal opinion, this is politically driven. This is not a United States problem. This is a global issue. And so it's difficult because it's what you call a catch-22. If we don't prepare and a lot of people get sick or worse, then people are going to be going, why didn't we prepare? If we over prepare, people get mad. And it's tough. You're always going to have both camps. I really personally don't like people trying again to be a pathologist, a doctor, or whatever, and start making illogical comparisons, in my opinion, and it is my opinion, but saying this is just another flu, or just wash your hands, or again, the doctors, the pathologists, people who study viruses, the CDC, John Hopkins, WHO. These are the people to listen to. And, this is a highly contagious. It makes it different than some of the other things. And also, if you guys are reading any of these tallies of SARS, MERS, swine flu, and all these, and the mortality rate, and then people say, but this hasn't killed that many people. Be careful with that information too, because those are historic numbers that may have happened over 1 year, 18 months, 2 years, 3 years. We've only had this thing circulating in our country for roughly a month or so, give or take, and then in the whole world since late December, early January. The point being is, I don't get the mentality of folks, do you need 100,000 deaths or 50,000 deaths or 1 million cases to take it seriously? So, I'm okay with the precautionary measures. Again, it's a catch-22. You're never going to make people happy. Either it would be a breakout and a lot of people would get sick and business as usual, and then you'd have a whole bunch of people going, what in the world did we do? Why didn't we prepare? And if we prepare like this, people are going to be mad because they're saying we're overreacting and it's too much and we need to, not do all this stuff. So it's impossible. I do think that some of the other stuff has made me a little bit mad. So take me, for example, I like to work out, and, I'm a little bit younger, and according to statistics, this is not something that could necessarily impact me directly by the numbers. But a person such as myself could be a carrier of it. If business as usual, if I was going to movie theaters and baseball games and carrying it, maybe I get a little cough, maybe a little bit of a fever, maybe not. But say I go to a baseball game and I buy a hot dog from the vendor who, hasn't quite retired, and he's 70 years old and he's at the ballpark, and I pass it on to him. And he gets extremely sick, or another person that's young passes it on and they get extremely sick or even die. It's irresponsible for people that can carry, to put people at risk like that. And I know people say, well, we could do that with the flu, or we could do that with this or that, but this is a different factor of being contagious than some of those other ones are. And this is not me. This is facts from doctors and things that I have read, and not Facebook and social media. This is facts. And so, for those of you that lived through 9/11, there was a sense post 9/11 of, we can't let terrorism get us down. We have to go about living our life. We have to continue on. We can't be scared by it. And you all remember that if you all lived through that. And that was true. But this is not the same. There was a tweet passed on to me by a friend from this past weekend where this lady, listen to this. She says in the tweet, tonight I went to Red Robin. That's a burger place, by the way. I went to Red Robin. The place was packed. I took my time eating. I'm 30 years old. I'm not scared of this. This is the United States. I'll do what I want. Now, the responses to it were crazy. Some people were calling her a psychopath. that she wanted to admit to that and all that. It's the careless nature, again, that a person that's younger probably will not be impacted, but it doesn't mean that the waitress at Red Robin, who might be 60, 65 years old, if that person was carrying or could transmit it. And again, we understand that there's not wide outbreak, millions of cases. I just think that I'm not offended by the precautionary to prevent this. And it doesn't offend me, but I understand too. I'm just going to do a real quick shout out to Kentucky Girl because I see Kentucky Girl here. And I want to say hi. I hope you're having a great start to your week. And thank you for stopping in the middle of current events conversation, which is a little bit of a departure. I'm going to scroll up here so I don't miss any of this stuff. Yeah, so that mentality of I'll do what I want is the Achilles heel of that is that it has a huge ripple effect in that it can impact others. And I don't necessarily agree with that liberal attitude. I'm not saying liberal in the sense of politics. I'm saying just in general, a liberal attitude to say, well, it doesn't impact me, so I want to go on. I understand the mentality of this too. Like, think about it. Like, there's some of us out there that are more homebodies than others. So you probably already enjoy your home. You stay at home a bit, you enjoy your family. This is just, this is a further, degree of that. And it's an inconvenience, but there's a lot of folks who, and there is nothing wrong with this. They're out all the time. They socialize. They're at restaurants or bars, hanging out with friends, doing outdoor activities in large groups and sporting events and concerts, on and on and on. The sporting, the events are endless. This has to be absolutely frustrating for people like that to have to restrain their life, almost like house arrest. The nature of this current event topic is stressful on its own. I don't see anybody really having fun talking about this. So number one, it's stressful. And number two, you're basically being softly told to be on quasi house arrest. Those two things together do not sit well with people who have an active lifestyle. So I get it. It rubs people the wrong way. It's not something that, rests easy with everybody. So you've got a camp of people that are like, this is good, do your part, stay at home, social distancing, let's not make this into something bigger. We can be smart about this. It's brought the whole world together, let's stop it. And then you got other people, but I kind of understand where they're coming from. They're like, not from the aspect of the science aspect. I'm not going to join them on that. Like, this is no big deal. But from the aspect of I'm frustrated, I'm being told I can't do anything. This is not my lifestyle. I'm tired of being cooped up, or I don't want to be cooped up till summertime. I get it. I think that we're all going to get cabin fever, and it's going to, it's going to be a challenge. And so, I have not been impressed in the last week or so. There were a lot of people early on that were acting like they knew what they were talking about and trying to make all kinds of comparisons to other diseases and trying to minimalize it because they think their rationale and logic is somehow scientific when it's not. And, I'm not in that camp, and I don't agree with a lot of that stuff. And it seems like some people are changing their tune as the facts become more available. So, it's tough, a tough deal. I know, and so, I'll have to go back through these comments. I know I'm several minutes behind. That was a great question there, Joe. I had you up on the screen there for a while, but let's see. We had a bunch of hellos, and I like it, Marvin. As long as I have my coffee, I'm cool. I think a lot of people feel, I used to joke that this old diesel engine doesn't start in the morning until I've had my coffee. They could make a t-shirt like that probably. You know what? Funny fact about me, I never liked coffee for eons, even as an adult, even as a working adult. I never cared for coffee. I drink a lot of tea, hot tea, like green tea and stuff, to be healthy, but I never got into coffee. And I don't know, maybe I'm trying to think, maybe like 2 years ago, all of a sudden I just started liking it. Like it really was just that pop to need in the morning. And I just drink mine black with 2 stevia. I don't put anything else in it. So that sharp taste is a nice way to wake up. So I get it, right? Like the whole, that's a great way to get it started. People need to get back to the basics: flour, sugar, dried beans, learn how to make biscuit and cornbread the way they used to be. Yeah. Tim, if there was a real kind of okay, so, then there's a lot of different buckets of age groups and health groups. And, again, this is not me. This is like doctors' information and information that I hear and read. But, obviously the mortality rate is a lot higher for seniors, elderly people, and people that are less healthy and underlying conditions. Those are the people that they are actually recommending to really hunker down and stay at their house. So yeah, in that aspect, maybe staying away from Walmart, staying away from some of those places, is a better idea. So yeah, getting back to the basics and some homemade food and stocking up and stuff like that. Not necessarily like nuclear fallout kind of necessarily issue, but yeah. By the way, speaking of that, not to be too grim, but I remember post 9/11 where we lived at the time, there were nuclear reactors. It was in Charlotte, North Carolina. There were nuclear reactors on the north and the south side of town. And it was one of the major banking hubs in the United States. And there was a period there where a lot of people were worried about just in communities, like who would be targeted next. And so they started as the community passing out potassium iodide tablets, which basically blocks radiation, and I think in your thyroid. This was by the government, by the way, not like some underground conspiracy theory stuff. Like there was a real concern that there was going to be, something later, and it was really kind of scary. And like, what if there was radiation, and how do you lock yourself in your house and all that stuff? So, we'll get through this. It's certainly, it's a weird feeling what's going on. It's like, at least in my lifetime, it's like 9/11, a Category 5 hurricane's coming. Somebody died. Getting in trouble like you're a kid, like you're grounded. Mix all those things together. It's just kind of messy, the feeling of it. I mean, it's not all doom and gloom. I saw that somebody was. I'll get to that comment in a second. It's 2 away. Joe has it, but reviewer has a good comment. Yeah, it seems though everyone's trying to make a political reviewer. As an excellent comment, it is. And on some positive side, I follow the suit of other channels like mine. I do not get political here, or I do not intend to. This is an all-inclusive channel to have fun and to smile and to have a good time. So we don't get into politics, but I will say on a positive note that the message that came out around 3 or 4 o'clock today from the government, federal government, was one more of like unity, of like pulling together, and no bashing and no, talking about parties or things like that. That's the kind of positive thing we need. That's really the strength of, what the country can do. So that was a positive. But yeah, it's not political. Like anybody, all the stuff I would read again, I literally have to take myself off of Facebook. The garbage that is on there, it's unbelievable. Like when people say, oh, this is caused by such and such party. Are you kidding me? This is not a United States thing. Like I said, this is a global problem. Just pull up John Hopkins' map and look at all the red circles. It's all over the globe. It has nothing to do with politics. It's not a politically driven virus or anything like that. I'm sure you could find some underground conspiracy theory on the internet, but I agree with the reviewer here. It is not political, but you are right that people are trying to. I am seeing that less and less in the last 48 to 72 hours. That was a very popular thing to do about a week ago. And again, if for those that I see, I had a few people join in the last few minutes, this is not an easy pill to swallow for people that are active. Again, homebodies and people are used to being at home are like, okay, I'm going to be a trooper about this and, buy some extra stuff and enjoy Netflix and TV and my family and read a book and whatever. Go for a walk, but I don't need to be out the mall or movies. But there's other people that's not their lifestyle. And to be told that they have to not do this for something that they feel doesn't impact them is a tough pill to swallow. And again, the nature of the whole topic is stressful. It is not one that conjures up comedy and smiles. So you're already laced in a stressful situation. And on top of that, you're being told to live a lifestyle that's not very accommodating to your normal habits. That's not easy. So people, try to reason in their head logically to say, this is why this doesn't make sense. This other disease, is it was worse. And we didn't do anything about that. So why should I do anything about this? Let me go out and have fun. It stinks. I mean, it's going to be a sacrifice for everybody, but and then in the end here, let me tell you what will happen. If we're doing pretty good job, I mean, from what I've seen and what I'm hearing now, there's a lot of people pleased by the measures being taken. They'll keep the numbers low. And then all the naysayers at the end will say, see, it didn't turn out to be anything. Well, the reason it didn't turn out to be anything was because of the measures we took. No reason to let those numbers explode exponentially and get to some crazy amount in order for us to take it seriously. So, that's cool. So Joe Burkett says, hopefully they'll have a vaccine by the end of the year and improve in the time goes by. So a company called Moderna gave its first dosages in human clinical trials today. And unfortunately, again, this is not me, this is news. They follow these individuals for a year and they give them multiple dosages. I think it was like 50 milligrams, I believe was the dose, and like 100 and 250 or something. I don't know. They're testing multiple doses, but they have to follow them for a year. So everything that I've read is that the vaccine is 12 to 18 months out from mass production if it works. So the great news is that we live in a wonderful era in 2020, and science, after they had the map of the virus, they were coming up with vaccines quickly, but unfortunately they can't just release it because it could hurt people. Again, that's not me, that's news and reading and following up on that. And then there's another bucket that's not vaccine, but treatments, like somebody who's already sick. There's a bunch of companies, there's like Gilead is working on that. There were a couple others. There's some good articles out there. Again, don't get your information from Facebook. Don't even get it from me. I'm just regurgitating news. WHO, CDC, Johns Hopkins, doctors, nurses, medical professionals. Do not get it from Facebook responses and conjured up memes and silliness on the internet. Be very careful with that. So yeah, Joe, the only thing I don't understand as far as timeliness is I did look back. The swine flu started in April of 2009. They did have a vaccine by the end of that year. I don't know how they did it in that short amount of time. I could not figure that one out. My only guess is they already had something in the pipe before it became a problem, and that's why the shorter amount of time. I don't know. If anybody happens to know, let me know. But it sounds like right now, unfortunately, a vaccine is truly a year away. And the stinker of that, again, not what I'm saying, but we could get through the summer and then the fall comes and then this thing fires back up again. But what I did hear optimistically from a doctor is that the tools they'll have and the knowledge by then will be better equipped to handle what may come back in the fall with the cooler temps than what we're dealing with right now. Again, that's what I've heard from doctors. Tim, yes, stable food stuff. No binge toilet paper. Yeah, this is not a hurricane. Of course, a lot of that was due to the hygiene of people. I know a lot of that was due to the hygiene of people. I missed a comment on that. Is that the toilet paper? The hygiene? Or was that the sickness? I'm sorry, the reviewer. Look at me. I'm 15 minutes behind. Hi, Mr. Mountain, the gang, just popping in for a while. I'm happy to see you and happy to have you here as well. Kentucky girl, always nice to have you here. And we have Jennifer Rathbone. Oh, look, we got some other people. That means that my good friends Yankee in the South must have finished their live stream because I only had like 3 people. I know I was competing with them tonight. I'm just happy. Marvin Carlton gets the award tonight for showing up first, and then Triple M Mom. The reviewer, people who are in their 20s don't get impacted as much. I I hard to stop in class meetings at college because of it. Many kids were just laughing it off. Yeah, yeah, reviewer. I mean, it's just about armed, and it is that mentality. Like if it's not going to impact me, it's a bit of a selfish mentality. Then I don't have to worry about it. But again, young folks could be carrier and give it to somebody else. I mean, if you just asked a general person, would you like to make somebody else sick and hurt them? I'm guessing about 99.9% of people, and you'd hope 100 would say, no, I don't want to hurt somebody else. Yeah. So Kentucky Derby to be run in September. Oh, okay. Well, that would make sense. They're canceling everything else. My mom is a cancer survivor and has low immunity, so I have to be really careful because if she got it, it wouldn't be good. That's exactly right, a reviewer. Like you want to be a responsible citizen and not be passing this along to everybody else. So your mentality and practice is spot on. Hey, Rita, hope you're doing well. It's always nice to have you on the Mr. Mountain Man live stream Monday. Hello, Mr. Mountain Man, everyone. I'm staying safe. Good. Hope we don't have any more tornadoes. That one 2 weeks ago was a close one. Missed us by a mile. Yes, I'm glad that you are safe. Anybody in Tennessee that was impacted, I'm so sorry for you. I pray for you. That was, in the middle of that tornado at the time had taken out more people than had died from this virus. So that was, and unfortunately it got kind of mixed in the news because of what's happening. So yeah, hopefully the good people of Tennessee are on the up and up. Did I miss it? Says, hi, hey, traveling Hoosier. Oh, traveling Hoosier. Howdy. Hope you're doing well, and always good to have you here. I don't know if Blondie's Adventures is here too. Hey, we got Karen Story. Karen, good to have you here. Always enjoy it when you are here as well. Karen is the mainstay in the community. I think last time Karen was here, it was her birthday, and I was singing happy birthday. And we got Sexy Matt, just migrated from Yitz. Yay, yeah. Don't worry, you don't have to admit that to me that I'm second fiddle. I'm not sad. No, really, I'm not. Yeah, but it's good to have everybody in here. We got Cashew Paul. Hey, Cashew Paul, I hope you're doing well and everything's going well up there in Skyline Chili Land. If anybody doesn't know that reference, that is Ohio. And Sarah Rathbone with the big dog. Good evening, Mr. Mountain Man and everyone else. I've been watching a few documentaries on the influenza pandemic of 1918 Spanish flu. Big mistake. I need to pick some more lighthearted programming. Yeah, great point. Water. Great point, Kentucky girl. My personal opinion is, yeah, you've got to take this in dosages. Like, it's enough to make you go nuts watching the news cycle 24/7. It is highly advisable, it seems, to get the news in dosages and then turn to something more positive. It can really put you in the Debbie Downer mood for sure. That is a good point. So yeah, if you're watching documentaries on it, switch up to something a little more positive. Chad Lovelace. Good evening, Mr. Mountain and everyone. Oh, cool picture. I hope you're having a great start to your week. A great Monday as much as you can, considering the current events. But at least tonight we're here having a good time, and everybody here is seeming to do well right now. I'd rather have toilet paper than food. Well, oh, Cashew Paul, that's a great comment. A funny comment, by the way, and we do need humor. Oh, I heard that once on a radio program like 20 years ago. If you had to go a month without doing one of the two things, what would it be? Brushing your teeth or taking a shower? So you could brush your teeth as much as you want, but you couldn't take a shower for a month. Or you could take your shower every day and you couldn't brush your teeth. That's a silly question, right? Like, why does that matter? But somebody asked it, and it was interesting. Believe it or not, most people are like, I will do without the shower. I'll brush my teeth. Where are all the thumbs up? Only seeing 3. Well, I appreciate that, Rita. And as I said at the beginning of this video, I always am humbled and appreciate my hats off to you and the community for everybody that does support this channel and provides thumbs up. It's just feedback, and it humbles me. I really appreciate it. So thank you from me, Mr. Mountain Man, to everybody that always is so kind. Thank you very much. And Cashew Paul, if you'd rather have toilet paper than food, like you mentioned, I think that you're in luck because everybody's got about 5,000 rolls at their house right now, or most people do. Hey, Blondie's Adventure, glad you're here. I saw Traveling Hoosier was wondering if you were here as well. Once again, reviewer, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Chris about t-shirts. I heard, as you heard a few minutes ago, that the Yitz live stream ended, and we have a bunch of the folks coming in here to say hello. And Chris, I hope you and Mindy are doing well over there in Knoxville, Tennessee, and doing having a great day. Start your week as much as possible, and hope you're doing good, buddy. Let's see here. Hello. Hey, Cashew's in the house. Karen Story. I'm glad I don't have Facebook. You know what, Cashew Paul? Yeah, you heard me say that a few minutes ago. Facebook's a mess. Like, for example, like even some of the stuff that was posted on the Yankee in the South, like I talked about 2 weeks ago with privacy, and then some of the people getting, Will posted a cool video from Walmart. I mean, cool in the sense that it was nice that he posted, and it was about how it was empty. And a lot of the responses were, the stuff that I talked about before a lot of you all piled in here tonight about the virus and some of the mentality of it. And it was quite controversial. I had to do everything in my power to resist from getting in the mix and arguing with people. It's just stressful and it's not worth it. I like Facebook for when somebody genuinely posts like a picture of themselves or their family or some neat thing they're doing, but it's really hard to filter on that because you get so much garbage and it's difficult. So if you're not in there, you're not missing. Not in my world, you're not. I've thought several times about just deleting it, but the problem is that it's for those moments. It's for that 30% of the pie where it's really nice to have. You got to deal with the other 70% of blah, in my opinion. So yeah, Cashew Paul, you're not missing out. Oh, cool, CCP, Cashew Paul. You know what? So look at the sweaty arms. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be disgusting. So one of the things that I'm doing is I'm not able to go to the gym and work out. I do not like that. I mean, it's just part of this whole deal. I sit down a lot for my job, and so I always have the balance of going to the gym. And now I'm having to work out at home. It's difficult for the type of workouts that I do to not go to the gym. But it's part of it, and I'll make do. So yeah, part of the deal, but trying to make the best of it. What do we got here? A Chinese politician was trying to blame America for giving the coronavirus to them during the military Olympics. Yeah, see that that's the kind of underground conspiracy theory stuff that I'm not really into. Well, I mean, this is probably somebody that actually quoted saying that. The only thing I will say about this, about the origins of this, is I'm sure you've all heard that the origins of this was a live animal market in China. And I don't care what the country is, take it out of the equation. I wish when the dust settles on all this that there is some type of global crackdown on that type of operation. I mean, we can't tell other cultures what to eat and not eat, and there's different income levels and poverty, but man, eating, bats and goats and brains and rodents and all kinds of stuff, this is going to happen again. And it's terrible. And so there is no FDA for the world, but somehow if there was a way to make a crackdown on that, it would be advisable for humanity, I think, because otherwise it's only a matter of time before somebody eats an animal that's not cooked or is near one or catches something from it, and it's bad news. Add another C and you've got Russia. Yeah, that was from the earlier comment. CCC. Oh my, Cashew Paul. Yeah, that's a good one. A good catch there. Blondie, the traveling Hoosier is a poor guy who got roped into renewing his vows. Oh, that's right. I think I heard about you all talking about that you were going to, I don't know if plans have changed, you were going to go to Tennessee and have that happen. If that's true, or if I have that story right or wrong, let me know. I just saw the Kentucky Derby was postponed until September due to the virus. Yep, had seen that above too. Cashew said she trapped me. I think that's wonderful, by the way. I think that's really a romantic thing to do. That's pretty cool. Okay, rapid fire round. Let's see. Oh, it's going to be crazy having baseball later in the winter if we have it at all this year. Yeah, like if you look at NCAA, March Madness was canceled. I think a PGA tournament was canceled. I know the Masters was postponed. Who knows about football? Yeah, tomorrow's St. Patrick's Day. Everybody should celebrate and forget about all this. Hey, that sounds good. Unfortunately, because of what's going on, the parades and all that kind of stuff is going to be not happening. But yeah, happy St. Patrick's Day to all the Irish, or all the people that are Irish for at least that one day a year. Cashew Paul, she felt sorry for that poor boy. That'd be the traveling Hoosier. Let's see here. The first swine flu was before you're born. Gave first vaccines back then, so they held the basic vaccine modifier for the last swine flu. Thank you, Triple M Mom. That is why the swine flu was able to have a vaccine to market faster than what they're projecting for COVID-19. Cashew, Tony's made a miraculous recovery, and it looked rough for a while, but he pulled through. Kentucky Girl, I'm sorry I missed that reference. I hope Tony sounds like he's doing well. So on that report, I hope that, and I'm sorry if I missed what that was, but I'm glad he pulled through. Oh, got to run. The phone's going to die. Night, everyone. I'm talking to somebody in the past. Good night, Blondie's Adventure, and always great having you and Traveling Hoosier here supporting the channel. You guys are awesome. Mr. Mom, will you have to bring your own chair next time you visit? Yeah, Cashew Paul, she mentioned that at the very beginning of this too. That's my bad, right? That's the ongoing joke. We had them live here 2 weeks ago. Mr. Mom was standing right here. So yeah, you would think I could get a chair. But this room is hard to see, but there's a desk here and it's kind of cramped. So actually, if she had sat, she would have been so low you wouldn't have seen her anyway. So Mom's tough. She can stand up. Karen is the moderator champion. I don't listen. This is, I've mentioned this before. I don't know how many moderators I have. I believe I have enough, but if somebody's not a moderator that thinks they need to be a moderator or something, just let me know as I'm catching up here. And I have to go back into the live stream and do it because I don't think, let's see here. I don't think put user in timeout. No, I can't. I don't. Actually, I was going to tell Karen something here if she's here. Oh, it says I'm back. And Ditta's here. Hey, Ditta. Glad to have you here. It's always nice to have you here at the live stream. I hope you're doing well. And it was nice seeing you. Cashew Paul said, what happened to Tony, Kentucky Girl? Yeah, that's what I wondered too. I'd take a shower and brush my teeth during it. Yeah, I know, but you can't cheat. You can either brush your teeth or, yeah, oh, no, sorry. I know what you're saying. That's what I was thinking too, right? Like you let the water go into your teeth. I think that's a great idea. I'd probably do the same thing. Or when I'm eating something, like, I don't know, just like grind my teeth, like, I don't know. Karen, you know what? Well, I guess this isn't a big deal anymore. I was going to tell Karen because Karen's usually on all the live streams. Karen, sometimes I work out. It's funny because when I'm working out at the gym that I can't go to right now, about once a week, a live stream will pop up throughout the community or somewhere, and I'll get on it. And but when I'm working out, a lot of times my phone has to go in my pocket. But with YouTube, I don't have YouTube Red, so I can't turn my phone off. And I don't know if you're still listening, Karen, but you're the one I think of because you're on so many of these. I hope someday I don't accidentally, on one of the channels I'm a mod, put somebody in timeout or block them because it's in my pants. It's never happened, but I was thinking about that. So if you ever see me block Cashew Paul and Chris About T-shirts accidentally or somebody like that, undo that for me, please. I'm asking a favor ahead of time. It's never happened before. I always think about it. I put it in my pocket and I walk around and I pull it back out and I'm like, oh gosh, I hope I've also almost dropped my phone and like grabbed it when it's still on. Well, when your finger touches the phone, you press a user and then you bring up the screen. It's like block you and like, no, back. And so anyway, oh, Promise is here. Hey guys, good to have you here, Promise. And I hope you're doing well as can be for this Mountain Man live stream Monday. This is the 20th episode, by the way, of Mountain Man Monday. So we're getting deep into the episodes here. Let's see. That's unfortunate, Cashew Paul. We have great discussions about you and Tammy Lama on Facebook. Yeah. And, Karen makes a good point, too. I talked about the 30% as good. There is some positiveness, and, you can see family and filter. It's just really hard to strain out the stuff. Let's see. Oh, Cashew is practicing social distancing by not having Facebook. I love that. You know what? I talked about a t-shirt earlier. That's another one. I should say I'm practicing social distancing by not going on Facebook or Twitter or whatever. Facebook is good for posting t-shirts. Yes, it is. Chris is an example of that 30% of greatness on Facebook. Always has a big smiling face with his new t-shirt. I'm always interested to see what it is every day. Maybe you should make a t-shirt out of toilet paper because that's like the thing to do. That would be really funny. Be like, with my 300 rolls, I made a t-shirt. Like I said, I think at Ripley's, they have a wedding dress made out of toilet paper. Ripley's in Gatlinburg. Life is like a roll of toilet paper. The closer you get to the end, the faster it goes. Yeah, that is funny, Rita. I like that. That is good. I think I heard that a long time ago, but that's a good one. On the daily, Chris. Yep. He always has a new one every single day. In that case, Karen, I'm really glad I don't have it. Oh, Tony's your cat. Cashew, he was gone for a few days hunting. I suppose he came on with his paw swollen up and walking on 3 paws. So I'm glad your pet, Tony the cat, is doing well. Tony the tiger cat. Let's see here. We have, I missed a couple. Cashew Paul, it's all good. Yes, glad your cat is doing better. Yes, and so kind of asked about Tony. I didn't know who Tony was either. I stood too close to Chris and caught the t-shirt bug. This is the greatest thing to catch, Cashew Paul. I love the banter. Oh, Karen said here, yeah, the NCAA tournament blues. I'm more of a NFL fan, not that it matters. I used to be into NCAA basketball, but yeah, it's always fun. Like even in the community, like people do the brackets and stuff. Not necessarily betting, just trying to see how close you can get. And a lot of people that live in this community in these states, like when you talk about Kentucky and Tennessee and North Carolina, some tremendous basketball teams in those states. So yeah, that is a tough pill to swallow. Let's see. Oh, Chris, about t-shirts. What's your St. Patrick's Day t-shirt look like? I guess we'll have to wait till tomorrow. We'll have to celebrate at home. Nothing is open. Yeah. So what are the traditional Irish, Triple M mom knows, the traditional Irish meals? It's like corned beef and right? Corned beef and cabbage. I don't know. Tell me what's the thing for. I'm drawing a blank here. QVC shopping tomorrow is my St. Patty's Day celebration. That's a good one, Promise. Yeah, why not? You're at home, see what's happening. The only thing open will be my refrigerator door. That's right. Does it have toilet paper inside of it? Good night, Blarney and Jeremy. And your bottle, Cashew Paul. Yeah. I'm listening in the background. Okay, maybe you're driving, Sexy Matt, which I always encourage anybody. If you're driving, definitely don't, look at the messages or do anything like that. I know in my car, I have like the Bluetooth connection. So sometimes if I'm listening to a live stream, I will put the phone aside and then I can at least hear the audio and I can still hear the chat and the conversation. Sexy Matt said, sure, I'll mod. Okay, Sexy Matt, if I don't remember, let me know. And I apologize. Look at me. I thought you were going to add me last time. You know what? Let me get responsible about this here and make a note. Okay, Sexy Matt. Hey, Hey, I'm stuck in my apartment working from home for the foreseeable future unless I'm called in to help. Wish I had your view while I do. Yeah, the mountains. I mean, that's the thing, the one thing that is nice still, even though this thing is really, we're having to, be on quasi lockdown, like I talked about before in the live stream. Getting out and walking. Unfortunately, if you live in a place that doesn't have much of a view, but it's still nice to get some fresh air. But yeah, that's why I love the mountains. I mean, hence my name, Mr. Mountain Man. Walking around, going places, and you're still practicing social distancing, because if you think about it, if you go on a hike or a walk or whatever, you're not really with any people. And then if people come near you, just be like, social distancing, keep arm lengths away. Don't say that, you might freak them out. But anyway, this is a great place to be in this part of the country, even though it's still wintertime, to be able to go on walks and still get out and do some stuff. The old butt block. Okay, I got you covered. Well, I appreciate it, Karen. Yeah, if I do that, and I appreciate you got my back on that, because I don't want to, I swear someday it was going to happen, and I meant to tell, but I didn't know. I was like, I'm going to wait till Karen comes to a live stream and let her know, because if I had done it like in somebody else's live stream, like Yitz or something, be like, hey, Karen, it would have been confusing of what I would have done. So instead of butt dialing, you're butt blocking. Yeah. And you notice the people that I picked, I didn't see Chris come back with anything unless he said it down here below. I specifically picked it out that I would be accidentally blocking Cashew Paul and Chris about t-shirts. Oh man, I forgot it was Monday until you mentioned it. It's Mountain Man Monday. Today is Mountain Man Monday. So that's how you always know, because I do these on Mondays. I did do one live stream that was not on a Monday. That's a quiz. Does anybody know which one that was? Chris probably knows, because he attended that one. There's a quiz for you. Actually, you want to know about who does quizzing and game show type stuff really well? Cashew Paul. I know he does some of that on his Wednesday live stream. So if you guys enjoy that, check out Cashew Paul. Look at poking in the head. Boop, boop. Check out Cashew Paul. He's got a cool live stream. John Bennett makes a joke about wearing toilet paper. Yeah, I know what I was going to tell you guys earlier, and I forgot. I made a few online orders of things that were in stock, and then by the time they went to fulfill it, they canceled my orders, because that stuff was a couple of things. This used to happen when I lived in Florida too, when we did the hurricanes. I needed a gas can. Silly me. I knew better than that. I waited to the last minute. I was always good about everything, but I forgot to get a gas can during the year. I ordered one at Lowe's. By the time they went to get it, it was gone. And honestly, employees are people too that live. So, I wouldn't be surprised if an employee gobbled up that stuff from my order and said, oops, it's not in stock. I know that's a little bit, conspiracy theory too, but when these things happen, and again, I did it through the hurricanes, and I'd order stuff and it says your order's complete, and you're basically locked in that buying that product, and then it's not there, and then they cancel your order behind the scenes. You might say the inventory's out of whack, but being in computers and stuff, most of that stuff's real time. So I'll be visiting this weekend. St. Patty's has always been a big food and green milkshake day, so a ton of food for us tomorrow. Yeah, I remember growing up, Dad making green milkshakes, basically taking and making like a French vanilla milkshake and putting green food coloring in it. And you know what? I should do that too. We actually got the ice cream maker from Christmas, which we enjoy. I love the way homemade ice cream tastes. Put some green drops in that. Oh, is it tomorrow? Tomorrow. Wow, yeah. St. Patrick's Day. Man, everything's just I'm like Cashew Paul. I know it's Monday, but the date. Chris's Cashew Paul shirt doubles as toilet paper. Yeah, that's the hot sauce. By the way, those hot sauce videos were great. I really enjoyed those. It'll be interesting after we are all well past this pandemic. The movies that will be made about it. I hope there will be an amazing movie that delves into how to prepare for the next one. Karen's story, yes. Actually, I don't know what it is, but I guess this kind of stuff brings up like other memories of things. So from the financial side, if you guys haven't watched the stock market or if you haven't looked, we're setting records in the wrong way. Today it went down 3,000 points. If you're not a follower of that, that's a lot. The biggest drop since 1987, the worst week since 1987. I mean, just all kinds of nastiness. 30% down. Started making me think, this is putting to Karen's point, about the 2008 financial crash. And I started watching documentaries in the last 2 weeks about what happened during the 2008 crash. There's a tremendous movie called The Big Short. If you've never seen it with Christian Bale, that's an excellent movie. I highly recommend it. But I wanted to see something that wasn't Hollywood. And there were some great documentaries about what had happened. And of course, they were made several years after the fact, talking about what happened with Wall Street and the financial crisis and how that came about and all that stuff. So I don't know why it made me conjure up maybe, bad thing and thinking about previous events. But I agree, Karen. I was saying the same thing. I said there will be documentaries made, at least in the financial world and also in the biological world with what's going on in the virus, about what's happening right now. And I too hope we get to the other side of this relatively unscathed because of the drastic measures that are being taken. Corned beef and cabbage. I was right, but I mumbled it. And Cashew Paul, thank you for saying that. Promise says, Triple M Mom, I have 12 green, Krispy Kreme donuts, and only my mom is coming over to shop on QVC at Patty's Day with me. No tea room tomorrow. Celebration was canceled. That's awesome. I am so jealous right now. I love Krispy Kreme donuts. I'm a mess. My, you know how Superman has kryptonite? My kryptonite is donuts, cream-filled donuts. I can eat donuts like there's no tomorrow. Now, I like the glazed one too, but I love like a donut with the white filling, icing, or the chocolate filling. I mean, you know how a dog will eat till they get sick? Donuts is a problem for me. I mean, I could eat till I make myself sick in the stomach. I love donuts. That's why a few weeks ago, Yankee in the South, they got a king cake. Well, if you've never had a king cake, those things are they're like a glorified big donut Danish, and they're cream filled, and they are unbelievable. They have sugar on top, just out of this world. I don't know why I don't order one. Several years ago, I had looked at one. They were kind of expensive to get and ship from New Orleans. I think it was like $50. I'm like, I'm not spending $50 on a cake to get up here. But if you ever get a chance to bite into a king cake, they're awesome. Donuts, yes, you're getting me all excited. I agree. Krispy Kreme is awesome. Do you usually come on 8 p.m.? I didn't get the notice this time. Rita, here was my plan tonight. I barely made it to Yankee in the South's live stream last night because I was busy. As I got on at the end, I heard Will say tomorrow night. I knew that was like doomsday for my live stream. So I knew that when Will and Don came on, there was no point in me coming on because I'd probably get a small following, which is fine. The people that show up, again, my hat's off to you for coming to my live stream. But I didn't come on earlier. I said, I'm going to wait like 75 minutes. And so I came on at 9 o'clock, specifically tonight, to give time, thinking that maybe people would switch context and want to hear somebody different potentially. And so no rhyme or reason every single Monday. But that's what happened this Monday. And I'm glad folks showed up. Why does it say I've only been live for 8 minutes? Okay, just to get a feedback from anybody, anybody who's been here the whole time, or Triple M Mom, my software here says I'm only live for 8 minutes, but I've been live for, I don't know, I'm confused. I've been live for an hour and 8 minutes. So it's not like an old speedometer where it doesn't have the 1 hour because it always tells me. Anyway, hopefully there were no technical issues. My guess is this computer may have not had the time updated because I haven't turned it on in 2 weeks. And so it's a little bit confused. It's probably off by 1 hour. 68 minutes on yours. Thank you, Rita Locke. Yeah. And Karen said, huh. Yeah, sorry, I don't want to confuse anybody. It's okay. So that just means that it's missing the 1 hour, and it's probably because my Surface here it says 9:15. It's 10:15 on the East Coast. So sorry, I didn't mean to cause any confusion. I just wanted to see if there was a problem from the technical. Oh my goodness. Wait. Oh, where am I? Cashew Paul. Oh, all right. So sorry, going back. Oh, here we go. A little bit behind. We're going to have to go and study. You got an exam this week. Have a great night. Stay safe. Reviewer, great having you tonight, and I appreciate your comments. You probably already left, but I really enjoyed the conversation and your comments. Very good. Corned beef and cabbage is not sold in Ireland except for some corny tourist spot. Ireland has a much different cuisine than American myth. Probably like Mexico as well. We Americanize it, or Chinese food. That doesn't surprise me. Promise, my daughter and grandkids were supposed to come over, and now I have all these donuts. Guess I have to eat them. Send them my way. Kentucky Girl will say, good night, everybody. It was great talking to everybody. It was great talking to you as well. You can't block Chris about t-shirts. It's unblockable. Like my phone froze up. When I said block Chris, it was like, you can't do that. It's you are block proof. I'm more traditional. I like Guinness. Guinness is the best. And well, if you go if you run the gamut of beers in Ireland, what do you got? Guinness and Harp and what's Killian's, right? And there's a few others. I forget. Hey, Susan Thompson, we got somebody coming in here. Hey, Susan, I hope you're doing well as can be and having a great start to your week. Welcome to Mountain Man Monday. Whoops. Let's see here. Oh, fish and chips. Yum. Yeah. I'm sorry you can't see them tomorrow, Promise, but if you get through this, well, it'll be worth it. +1 to that. You enjoy your donuts. That's right. That's right. We'll all get through this. We're going to get through this. Can't block, but we can extort for t-shirts. That's right. Those look like Where's Waldo t-shirts, by the way, don't they? I don't know if you guys, yeah, those look like, if you've ever never seen the children's book, Where's Waldo, it's like the artist draws all of these tiny people and you have to find Waldo in all of that. Oh, okay. And Promise had to run too. I'm sorry, Promise, you probably already left about 10 minutes ago, but it was great having you here as well. Chris, tongue in cheek, says that's not nice, Karen's story, because we all know Chris is bulletproof. And Cashew is easy to extort for his bottle. That's right. If a movie is made about this madness, the carpetbagger will play Chris about t-shirts. Yeah. Well, no, we're going to have Chris play Chris. Can we still be friends, Chris? Yeah. Well, maybe you might accidentally butt block him, Karen. I got your back, and then I'll unblock him. Hot crispy cream off the line. We'll pretend this bagel is a donut. How do I not have a donut emoji? Oh, there we go. That is a bagel. It looks like two donuts. I'm pretty sure there is a donut emoji, isn't there? Let's see if it works. I'm going to paste some in the chat. In 5, 4, 3, 2, donuts. All right, you'll have to tell me if the donuts came through. Oh, Susan got one. Geez, Susan, you beat me to it. You are the thank you for finding the donut one before I did. It was right in front of me. We are working on tax stuff, so I'm probably missing some. Sorry. Yeah. Yes, Chris, I'm looking at my watch. I have a month left. I need to do it as well. I don't know why I always put it off. I do it all myself with the tax software and stuff. Just need to take a weekend to do it. I have to be honest. I'm a huge sports fan, but I'm kind of not missing as much as I thought. Chad, good point. Not to get too philosophical about it, but, hey, well, Triple M mom is here, or, parents sometimes. You know how when people accumulate junk and then if you take it away from them behind the scenes, they may not even know it's gone, like kids who have too many toys or whatever, and you get rid of it and they don't even know it's gone. Same thing could be said about what we occupy ourselves in life with. Sometimes, when you start to unwind that, what we think we need, we don't really need. And so anyway, to your point, Chad, people might find that maybe a little bit of time of leaning out and finding some new things to do, maybe finding a silver lining while we're all hunkered down. I'm wondering if I should do a live stream Wednesday since Yitz is going live nightly. Cashew Paul, Stay strong. Go for it. I did it. You probably just heard my spiel about my logic of when I came on and how far I was behind, or if you didn't hear it. It's true. But so you do that from a few different ways. Not every one of your subscribers and follower is necessarily a subscriber and follower of Yankee in the South. I mean, maybe it is, maybe it is. I mean, most of the people in the community see. But I will tell you from my own personal experience that I have been on Yankee in the South live stream, and Chris has gone live and I've jumped over. Sometimes it's just nice to context switch. You know, I've heard somebody's chat and somebody's conversation, and then I go to another channel because I want to hear what they're talking about or what topic of the night they have. And I thought too that might happen tonight as well, because I waited 75 minutes into their live stream before I went live, and thinking the same, that people might have been listening to them for over an hour and said, well, let me hear what Mr. Mountain Man has to say. That kind of played out, although I did get a bunch of people once they went off the air. But I think you should, because that's your channel. It's not, I don't think by any way, by the way, it's any kind of offensive or anything like that. We all give many, many thanks and praise to the channels in our community that help expose our channels, like Will and Dawn and Yankee in the South and Chris About T-shirts and Carpetbagger, all the travel, like Disney vlogs and all this stuff. Anytime anybody helps somebody else out in the community, those people deserve uber amounts of thanks. But we have channels too. It's not a competition. It's like donuts. We don't have to just eat one kind. We like a lot of different kinds of donuts. So, when I go all glaze selection, that's like YouTube channels. So I think personally, Cashew Paul, go for it. Start your live stream when you'd like tomorrow. And if you get a linear audience because some are on other channels, then, that's what it is. But your loyal followers and people that might want to hear you tomorrow, they'll be interested and they'll join you. That's my opinion. Might be wrong, but you let me know what you think. Let's see. Haven't seen any problems here. Yes, Susan Thompson said, Cashew Paul, if you do a live chat, I'll be there. I hadn't even read that comment, so there you go, Cashew Paul. And Cashew, I'm the same way. Like if, and it goes the other way too. Like maybe I'm on your live stream or Blondie's or Chris's, and I'm listening in the background or something, and then somebody else comes on and I might pop over and then say there. I tell you what I do try to do, at a minimum, even if I don't have time to make a comment or get involved, like even Cashew Paul, I've gone into yours, and I'm sorry if this isn't enough, but I'll go in and I'll thumbs up your chat, even if I only have a minute. Like if I'm running around and family's going nuts and it says Cashew Paul's live, I will go in, hit the thumbs up. Sometimes I will even say on different live streams, I'll say, sorry guys, I can't stay. Just wanted to support the live chat. Everybody thumbs up, and then I got to take off. So I always try to do that. And if I don't, I try to go back into the live streams and do the same. Yeah, Cashew Paul, you have a cult following. And like Jonestown, Karen, yes. No more like Rocky Horror Picture Show, Cashew Paul. Let's see. I'll be home tomorrow night, but I'll be making a shepherd's pie to celebrate. Yes. Oh, yeah. And Cashew Paul, you have to do some Irish stuff tomorrow night. Or maybe you're already planning to do that. Love to catch all these live stream during these times. Escape from all this and have some fun conversation. That's right. If I can get caught up here, I was going to ask a question to the community. Yeah, there we go. We got a bunch of donuts. Oh, hey, Hazelnut McGee. Oh, and I like your picture too with all the books. It's really cool. Yeah, we all got the donuts. Cashew Paul found a goat. There's some pretty funny emojis out there. Let's see. Oh, I have dishes to wash. Thanks, Saxy Matt. I will not forget to make you a mod, by the way. And Hazelnut McGee, I hope you're having a great start to your week as much as possible. And glad to have you here in the live stream. Good night, Saxy Matt. I didn't know you did dishes. If you ring out and want more, let me know. That's right. Karen, that always reminds me every time I clean my car, a neighbor will walk by, and I always get the same joke all the time. Will you clean mine too? It's funny every time because I'll be hand washed in the car and somebody's like, clean mine. And I'm like, no, but I'll let you clean mine if you want. But yeah. Oh, wait. Thanks, Chris, about t-shirts. Just kidding, Chris, simmer down. Wow, that really hurt. Chris doesn't get hurt. I've never seen Chris hurt. I told you he's bulletproof. Does it help if the sleeves were cut off? Yes, it does. I feel forgiven. Love looking on Instagram at your posts about your 365 t-shirts, Chris, about tees. Fun to see. Now, there's something I've not gotten into, which is Instagram. I have Facebook, Twitter, obviously YouTube. But I do not have Instagram. Do you guys remember MySpace, the predecessor to even Facebook? Did any of you guys have a MySpace page? Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Let me know. That was not the question I was going to ask, by the way. Because I'm shy, only lurking. Cashew's Paul live stream. Hazel McGree, do you read? Yeah, because of all the books. Let's see. Karen about whining hangman. I think I did skip one. Cashew Paul, goat is a substitute for a llama. That was another good video. Yes, I do read. Either that or you own a bookstore. Playing hangman on Cashew's Paul live stream is a blast. Girl power. That's right. That's not girl power right there, but I'm just matching the muscles there. Like I was telling you, I'm making my own sacrifices. I am working out from home, which is less than ideal. Yeah, I do it for you, Karen. Oh, there we go. Oh, I hate to leave, but it's that time. Marvin, I appreciate you stopping by. You were number one tonight, buddy. Thank you for coming in, and I appreciate it so much. I hope you have a great rest of your week. It's always great talking to you, Marvin Carlton. Our little sister keeps trying to get me on Instagram. Oh, okay. I don't have any propensity against it. In fact, I think I would like it because a lot of times I'd probably like Instagram better than Facebook because a lot of times I just want to take a picture, say something about it, and be done with it. But you can still comment on it and all that stuff. So I don't know. I'm trying to lean out, I think, on social media. Literally, it can get my blood pressure going. I have one of these Fitbit watches that has the heart rate. Oh, it looks like I'm pretty happy right now. It says I'm resting with a 69 heart. Oh, no, went from 69 to 82. Let's see. I heard the girls cheat. Oh, wait. Yeah, on the game show. Cashew Paul is Tommy Llama. You know what, Chris? You when you did the which I was not, I didn't submit an entry, embarrassingly, for the giveaway T-shirt at Christmas. But I did watch a lot of the live streams, and girls were winning every night. So I think it was rigged. I think Mindy did it. Mindy rigged the system. So if she's doing taxes there, tell her to be honest. Taxes don't rig, because all the women won the T-shirts. So, but anyway, you're right. Girl power. Oh, not that one. What happened? You're right, Karen Story. Girl power. That's right. Chris about sour grapes. Having some sour grapes this evening, Chris. We are undefeated, aren't we, ladies? Uh-oh. I may need to. No, Chris. Just doing what we're doing. We sure are, Karen, and you are team captain. Yeah, see, Cashew Paul, all more reason to have your live stream tomorrow night. Can you see this enjoyment of what you do? Mindy must have rigged it, and yes, Mindy's doing most of the tax work. Well, then that's good. At least you work the system to have her do all the work so you can be here and enjoy this Mountain Man Monday, right? Chad says, how's North Carolina doing? Schools closed or shutting down anything? Wisconsin schools closed and they're limiting 50 or smaller groups. Yes, Chad. North Carolina public schools did get closed 2 weeks as a start. I have a feeling it's going to be for the rest of the year. However, these are not snow days. At least in our county, they kicked it into gear fast. We got a bunch of emails today that they will be doing remote learning. They have pickup times for laptops at the school. They are getting organized and putting learning together, and I am all for that. I do not want the kids to sit at home and watch TV indefinitely. I am impressed and proud of the school system for being able to get this organized and so that the kids can continue to learn. So I guess everybody's going to get a little dosage of homeschooling. You want some cheese with that wine, Chris? I don't really notice Chris whining any. Oh, he's talking about the women winning. Yeah. We are having digital learning days also. Yeah. So yeah, there's somebody, one of the teachers is using YouTube to like provide instruction. I think there's some live online. I don't think it's YouTube through a system. There's like packets that they need to do. So they'll keep the brain moving. If they can limp along, or even better, and get everybody through the school year, then they should be fine for the next grade. Chris knows I'm just funnin'. That's a great saying, by the way. I'm just funnin'. That's as Southern as it gets right there. I remember when I moved to North Carolina from Ohio when I went to school. How many words that I learned from my friends that were born and raised in North Carolina. First of all, I said pop. Pop machine, do you have pop? I don't say pop anymore. I said pop all the time, and they made it that it was so awkward when I said it, and I was so aware of saying it, I don't say it anymore. I think they beat it out of me. I don't call it soda. Actually, no, I might. Like if I go to a restaurant and I'll say, oh no, you know what I say? I basically say it how the menu says it. If it's a fast food restaurant, I'm like, I'll take a fountain drink. I just like literally, or I'll take a medium drink for the fountain. I'll say that. If I'm at a restaurant, I just call it what I want. There were some people that used to say, well, everything's a Coke. And they'll say, what type of Coke? Oh, Sprite. So I got all the pop out of me. And yes, Chris, I like it when people say pop. My cousins from Cleveland did. Yeah, I always said it. They thought I was strange. I also called those things at the grocery store that you push around a cart. They call them buggy. And so, by the way, none of this was offensive to me. I have a personal opinion. I've moved around a few places that you do not project your culture on wherever you move. You adhere and learn to, live in the new culture. It doesn't mean you can't bring the nice aspects, but don't tell people what to do. That's my opinion. So whatever was the norm, I didn't necessarily change the way I speak, but I certainly wasn't going to tell anybody that they were wrong. And so I found a lot of this pretty humorous. So they call it a buggy. I called it a cart. I remember the first time one of my buddies at college said, can you give me a drop cord? I'm like, a drop cord? Does anybody know what a drop cord is? Go ahead and put it in there if you know what a drop cord is. I will wait on that. I say Coke no matter what it is. There's a good documentary on YouTube called Mountain Talk. It's about mountain vernacular. Popcorn Sutton is in it. Well, why am I not in it, Cashew Paul? I'm Mr. Mountain Man. They should have at least asked me what I thought about Mountain Talk, right? Haven't caught it on any live stream, but is the national park closed or is it not really affecting it? Because people don't pile in like to Smoky Mountains National Park, other than maybe they close the visitor center or something like that. That I could see them doing. I wouldn't see why they would close the roads though, but I could be wrong. Somebody in Tennessee might know. I agree, Chris. It is pop to me. I say Coke for everything or soft drink, but in Southern Kentucky, they say pop and buggy instead of shopping cart. That's right. Rita is the winner for my impromptu quiz. A drop cord is an extension cord. Now, I didn't know it meant heavy extension cord. It was just an extension cord. So he said, can you give me a drop cord? I'm like, pardon me? Drop cord. Pardon me? I was like, extension cord? And he's like, what? So that was a good dude. That goes back to Facebook. I'm still actually that guy. He was my first roommate in college. I'm still connected with him on Facebook. That's one of the neat things, I guess, in that 30% I keep saying about Facebook. But I remember that guy. He was a cool dude. I push our culture on each other. He makes me wear T-shirts and I make him wear pants. Well, I would say in that one that Cashew Paul's got the right gist of it. Yeah, like the big orange and yellow extension cord. So Rita said heavy. In this particular case, the extension cord, it could have just been like one of those brown or white ones in the house. It just meant, we were actually inside. We weren't outside. And he said drop cord. So it was just extension cord to me. But I don't know if Rita wants to clarify if people only use drop cord for like like the ones I have in the garage and for outside and for, stuff like that. I reluctantly wear pants. Well, And you know, in your picture there, were you wearing pants and but you probably wearing a bathing suit. Yeah, so you know what it is. I was going to ask one more question, then I'll wrap it up for the night. So, what things do you all like to do that don't involve being in crowds and doing stuff like that you will enjoy while we are kind of in quasi home arrest lockdown? I kind of alluded to it earlier. This is why I love living in the mountains, and hence my name, Mr. Mountain Man. I like walking around in the mountains. It could be a formal hike, or it could just be getting some fresh air in a regular walk or whatever. And I don't think that that's going to be impeded by any of this, because again, you're not in large crowds. You can go out and walk. I really enjoy that. That is a fun activity. And as the summer months approach, there will be, visiting waterfalls, or visiting, or it could be hiking, or different outdoor activities where people are spread out, or anything. Could be reading a book. Who would we have earlier with all the book pictures? Doesn't have to be anything to do with outdoors. I was curious what you guys enjoy in the absence of some of these activities. And so Cashew Paul says, and you're going to be perfect for this. Oh, wait, let me make sure I get Hazel. Some people in Cincinnati say please instead of pardon. Oh, okay, I get it. So if they bump into you, please, they might say please. I use both, and I do say pardon me, by the way. Rita says, I like watching you on live stream and people's videos. That's a great thing to do. Because yeah, you can be by yourself and you don't have to, but yet you still get that kind of community feel. That's why I like this, regardless of the current events going on. You don't always necessarily find that your next door neighbor or the person in your local, your job or whatever is necessarily like you, or you have things in common. So the internet has really brought people closer together in a unique way, so that you can have these kind of experience, even though it's virtual. And then there's opportunities to get together for real, like people do with meetups or other things. But regardless, it allows people that have common interests to get together, and I think that's really cool. Cashew Paul said, I enjoy anything that doesn't involve crowds. I like staying in bed with my cats. In bed with my cats. Well, you're going to be perfectly set up for this then. Because this will be right up your alley. As long as it stays open, I like walking our local park. Remember Blacklick? I like the nature trail by the nature center. Yes. Even if not in the mountains, state parks and things like that. Again, some of these places might close, like the nature center or the visitor center and things of that nature. But at least, the national parks and people will stay in their jobs. There's no reason to have park rangers and people like that not working. So this is going to be an excellent opportunity to do things like that. And Susan says, me too, Cashew, liking to stay in and being a homebody. And that's awesome. Just walking the dog, listening to music, and spending time with my family. Movies, etc. Nothing beats family time. That's how I cope with this. You're exactly right, Chad. Those are all awesome things, because it's a great time to catch up on, playing a board game, watching a movie, just doing some of those things. Like Chad, I think it was you who said a few minutes ago, you're not really missing some of the sports and some of the other things. It gives more time back to the family. One of the things that I found is I have a ton of projects to do. My car had an issue that broke. The alternator died. The power steering pump needed to be replaced. The brakes are bad. I have a whole bunch of stuff I'm doing. If it gets a little warmer, I've got a bunch of painting I need to do. All kinds of stuff around the house. No better time than to get into that. When Cashew Paul says cats, that's Chris about t-shirts. Well, if you all want to have a snuggle fest, by all means, no judgment here. So if you want to get in with Cashew Paul instead of the cats, hey, go for it. No for saying what? What? I missed something. What? Oh, what? Sorry, Hazelnut McGee. That went over me. I missed what you might have been referring to. Oh my, Chris. Yep. Well, like I said, whatever you guys want to do. Yeah. So, catching up on projects, going for walks, sightseeing. I forgot to mention that. My favorite part about living in the mountains is the views and sightseeing. So I love to go to places like you guys saw in my Mount Mitchell video. And Chimney Rock and some of these other places. I love that I get to see amazing views of the mountains, kind of like those pictures behind me on the wall right there. This is true, Captain T, aka Cats. It also means Kentucky baseball here. Right. So yeah, these are some of the things I was wondering what you guys will be enjoying as we come into a time when, maybe going to the movies or going out to your favorite restaurant, or, hopefully we're kind of fortunate that we didn't have anything big planned. Like, I'm sure some people had to make tough decisions, like they couldn't go on a cruise or they couldn't go on that vacation or had to cancel some flights or, some other things. I know my mom had to cancel a Disney World trip and some other things. So fortunately, at this current state, my family was not in that position. But I'm sure others have had to make some tough calls on to not being able to do those things. So hopefully you're able to backfill it with some fun activities that are still enjoyable, because for those, again, that I've alluded to earlier that are not used to being kind of confined or restricted, it could get a little bit stressful. And I would say that as a piece of advice for those of you that work or have to interact with other people, probably a time to give everybody just a little bit extra patience, because I don't think people realize it, but the stress of this will take its toll implicitly, I believe. Now, anybody who gets affected directly, it will be explicitly, but implicitly, I think people will be impacted by the stress. I think by nature, like I said, it's not a fun topic. So I think everybody needs a little extra understanding. Even I noticed at work today that the mood was a little more somber and a little more subdued is probably a better word. So one thing I love doing is just driving around my town. It's amazing what's in our backyard that we forget about. Isn't that the truth? What local hometown has to offer and just cool things to do. One of the things I'll enjoy along that line, Karen, is the Blue Ridge Parkway. I'm looking forward to going on some rides on the Blue Ridge Parkway, and you're not in large crowds, so I will be looking to doing that. I think hazelnut means in Cincinnati. People say, please. Oh, hazelnut means, talking earlier in reference to people saying please instead of saying what when someone to repeat a question. Oh, okay. So if I blah, 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 and people go please instead of pardon, instead of would. Yeah. Okay. Now I catch you guys. We had a lot canceled. Yeah, Chris, I know, because you guys travel and you see a lot of concerts. Yes, you are a good example of that. We were scheduled to be out of Tennessee every Saturday in March. It has all been canceled so far. Sorry about that. I know, it's, for the greater good, and we'll come out on this the other side less scathed. Hopefully you guys, you still live in a beautiful part of the country, so hopefully you guys will still have some fun things to do. Maybe at some point we can get together at social distancing. Well, not my backyard, just figure of speech. Yeah, not your backyard, but your hometown and area. For you, cats means Mindy. Does anyone say come again? Yeah, there's beg your pardon, come again, excuse me. How many of those could I come up with? Let's see. Yeah, come again, pardon me, excuse me, please. Who? What? What'd you say? Yeah, there's everything from slang to formal. I beg your pardon. I don't know. Yeah. Oh my, Karen. They do, Karen. I knew someone that was going to take that comment like that. Instead of pardon or please. Yes. Yeah, so it's interesting that the way people use, yeah. Oh, Rita, how could I forget? How could I forget? This was something else I learned in the South. This was huge in North Carolina when I first moved here. Do what? Do what? Do what? Yeah, that means like, excuse me, or what did you say? Or what did you ask me to do? Do what? Everybody said that. That was another one. Do what? Do what? Yeah. That's a great one, Rita. Karen says, I say, squeeze me. That's kind of in the bucket of when I say something silly, like, can you do me a flavor? So squeeze me and do me a flavor. Those are in nice twists of idioms that we use in the English language. We are hoping to visit my family back in Michigan in June. Hopefully it's it's at a point where we can go back and visit without any problems. Yeah, if you're making a car road trip and it's direct to family, I'm sure it's probably not bad. I don't know if there'll be any restrictions on interstate travel or not. You'd hope not, or if that was only by the airlines. I mean, that'd have to be really bad to get in that spot. So, yeah, I agree with Chris. That would be good, Chad. Yes. And Karen said, yes, Rita, do what? What did you say? Do what? It's because Cincinnati has German roots, and please in German is bitte, which translate into what? I know not a lick of German. I know some Spanish and English, and I also speak Pig Latin. I could convert that into Pig Latin. It's a Ikazbe, Cincinnati a, as a Erminje, Utsre, and a Eastplay, and a Erminje is a Idebe, Itchway, Anslates tray into a Utway. How about that? How about that to finish out Mr. Mountain Man? I think 2 people dropped as I was speaking Pig Latin to Cashew Paul's last message. So everyone, I hope this made the start to your week a little bit better. I enjoyed having each and every one of you here. Thank you for coming, no matter what time you came. Amazing facts with Cashew Paul. I'm hoping to visit you guys in a couple months. Yes, that's okay. Would love to have you. I speak Klingon fluently. So proud of our son learning Pig Latin. I made you proud, Mom. I've made it. I'm speaking Pig Latin on a YouTube live stream. I know you're proud of me. You can tell all your friends about me and that you are proud. This is a story that you can tell for years. Everyone have a good night. Awesome job, Mr. Mountain Man. Goodbye, everyone. Very nice, Mr. Mountain Man, Mom. She is right. I want to thank everybody, like in racing, like they thank their sponsors. I don't thank my sponsors. I thank the people who showed up. That would be Cashew Paul, Karen Story, Chris About T-shirts, Chad Lovelace, Mr. Mountain Mom, Dit Da. We had Saxy Matt, Rita Lockett, Chris About T-shirts. Did I already say that? Susan Thompson. Let's see who was up here. Hazelnut McGee, Marvin Carlton. We had, I'm scrolling. We had the reviewer. We had Tim Wheaton and a few others. If I missed your name, I apologize. And if you were hanging out in the background just listening, I thank you as always. Thank you for supporting the channel and coming here. I hope to do another Mr. Mountain Man live stream next Monday. And I don't see why not, because I'm going to be at home. And I agree. Enjoyed chatting with everyone. Mr. Mountain Mom is the sweetest. She deserves a chair. She does, Chris. And have a great night, everyone. Thanks, Mr. Mountain Man, Jeepers, Karen, Night Cashew Paul. Have a great night. Good night, Susan. And I say a good night to you from this 20th episode of Mr. Mountain Man Monday live stream. Good night, everyone. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time.